me do this thing.
Sorry, you said something.
Sorry?
You said something. I missed this one.
No, I'm saying that since like the count is 3, I'm waiting for others to join. If you guys know that your friends or maybe they wanted to join, they can join. Or else I've started the recording. So if they missed, they can get the recording session as well.
Okay.
So now I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. So I'm on to Workday login page. So it is getting login. Yeah. So guys, since like last time what we discussed is like we're gonna start with the concept of security. What I can see is from the attendance is like there are 4 participants, including me. So let me know, like, shall we start with the security one, or because security is required is for everyone, right? Whether you work with a technical or the functional part, you need to have security, which is a dedicated domain, as well as business process. So my agenda was that I have defined my agenda that I'm gonna talk on security today, and tomorrow when we'll focus on the business process.
స్టార్ట్ అయింది చూడు ఒకసారి మంతనే అనుకుంటా నేను వచ్చేసరికి సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది ఇప్పుడే స్టార్ట్ అయింది
Guys, you can be on mute, or else if you have any queries, you can ask me. Okay. So, guys, as I can see, the number is not that one which we are expecting. So, usually there used to be, say, 10 plus candidates. Now I have only 3. So, what we'll do is like, if you guys have any queries or
I have few more people joining, Manthan.
Okay. So, shall I wait for them for 1 more minute and then shall I start?
Yeah, maybe 1 minute.
Okay, sounds good. Let me know once. Okay, I'm monitoring the count. So I'm giving 1 minute and then we'll start.
Yeah, Manthan, that's it, I think. You can start.
Okay, thank you. So last time what I have, we have like discussed that we'll have a dedicated session for security. Since I have prepared myself to start the concept of security, but the count is not that good. So let me start with the business process, because security is the thing which I want everyone to be online and there, because I'm gonna have a practice wherein I'll create a security group, then I'll assign some domains, and then we'll see how things works in real time scenario. So security is not things wherein we can learn via reading some documents. It needs some hands-on experience, because security is very vital part. As you see my screen, that I have already opened the high level security framework. So we'll have to first understand this. Let's see. So let me start with the concept of business process, because what I can see here now, the candidates are not, we don't have the full house now. So let's jump on to the business process. Security we'll talk tomorrow when everyone will be online. Okay. Have you guys heard about the questionnaire things that can be configured, set up questions
అమ్మ నేను
into the,
చేస్తా కొంచెంసేపు అయిన తర్వాత.
guys be on mute. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the, let me know first, you guys heard about this questionnaire things, how we can add questionnaire onto the business process. When I say questionnaires, for let me give you the real-time scenario. Why I'm saying this? Let's say in real-time scenario, what is happening when you hire somebody, then there is a survey launch. Let's say after 1 month or 2 months, depending upon the organization's requirement, there are been survey associated for an employee just to get the feedback. So what we do, we create a survey in Workday. Okay, so what is that survey is all about? Let's say after 1 month, you want that the survey should be triggered to employee by getting the feedback of their onboarding process. Onboarding process means you might have received, right? If you guys are like worked, you might have received a questionnaire that asking, please give us about your experience. So you'll put a question, right? You'll get a question mark that how was your onboarding process? How was your HR orientation? How is your manager? So there are set of questions which are being predefined by an organization for a new hire. This is one requirement. Similar things goes for termination also. Let's say if I have resigned from my organization. So you might have seen that, right? Exit interview. There is an exit interview where they'll ask some questions and you have to fill that form. So rather than doing that manually in Workday, we can have that process inbuilt into the business process. Okay, since it is a configuration, right? And this is like again for interview perspective, this is very important. Why it is important? Because when you say you have also worked on the configuration part, so this is a kind of configuration which is wherein you can create a questionnaire. I'm gonna do the entire process here so that you can consider that thing that you have worked on the questionnaire thing and that involved business process. When you see these two things combination, then you did a configuration of things. And as I said, in interview, we need to say whatever we have practiced. We cannot say hypothetical thing that, okay, I will do this if I get that an opportunity. Everyone is interested that what kind of job you do, what you have done in Workday, please share your experience. So what I have been doing, I have focusing on the concept wherein when interviewer asks that tell me what thing you do in Workday. So we are considering one topic. So today we'll be majorly focusing on the business process. Tomorrow we'll be focused on the security process. See, why business process and security? Because if you see module wise, let's say you are focusing on recruiting or you are focusing on payroll or talent or performance, be it any module. But throughout these module, your security and business process concept remains the same. Whether you go for payroll, obviously in payroll also you'll find a business process. Again, payroll is related to compensation, so it will have a security involved. So it could be any module throughout Workday, which remains common is your security and your concept of business process. Okay, so though we'll be let's say I'm considering myself a technical consultant, but in technical consultant also business process plays a vital role wherein we determine, right, how I should get that document retrieval, how I should deliver the document, when should my integration do, what should be the condition shall I put in that. So considering everything in place, whether it could be a technical or the functional consultant or techno-functional consultant, security and business process is the common concept which everyone have to understand. So considering the concept of business process and security, I have came up with a new requirement wherein I have to create a questionnaire and that questionnaire should be triggered on the hire. So when I'm going to hire somebody into an organization, I want the questionnaire to be triggered. Now, how this requirement comes? So first we have to understand the requirement. So requirement says once your employee is hired, just after 30 days of his hire date, Workday should trigger a questionnaire seeking that please let me know about your onboarding experience, whether you got the information from HR, how was your experience, how would you rate the onboarding things? Do you need any kind of recommendation for us? So this is my question, and this is a real-time scenario. Each organization, most of the organizations have a questionnaire set up for a new hire as well as for the exit interview. So since first we'll talk about the new hire, whatever configuration we do, you have to say that the similar configuration you did it for termination as well. So you got the requirement, right? What I'm saying, that I am going to create a list of questionnaire. That questionnaire I'm going to tag onto the business process. So whenever I'm hiring somebody into an organization, my questionnaire should trigger to an employee. Once that questionnaire is to trigger an employee, at the same time, I want the report to be generated for that. That means if I'm an HR partner, obviously I need to have a report, right? Seeking the recommendation of an employee. So we'll create a report. So requirement, questionnaire delivery, and then report generation. We'll see all these things in today's session. Okay, so let's start with the questionnaire. So yes, if I wanted to create a questionnaire, first thing first, I have to add the questions onto I have to first create the questionnaire. Okay, so the task remains the same. Create question. Okay, create question, then questionnaire and associated security. This part was not there in earlier release. Last release, this concept came, create questionnaire security segment. Earlier, this part was not there. Okay, so you can say that. Okay, so let me start with, so this is the configuration part. First, you understand the configuration part, and then we'll see the research and development associated with that, what kind of issues we occur when the questionnaire things is done. So let me first create a list of questions. So I've clicked on the task called create question. So this is my question. Let's say, how was your boarding experience? How was your onboarding experience? Oh, sorry, this is question name. So I can say this. That's a new hire NZ Q1. Okay, I can give the code. This is my question body, that how was your onboarding experience? Okay, there are sections which is predefined by Workday. I cannot add any question type here. So let's say I want text or I want a single select. So let's say I want a single select. We'll use each kind of thing. So let's say possible answers. So I'll say good, better, best, or poor. Okay, so depending upon this, we can arrange this. Question tag, I can create a question tag that this is for hire, this is for, so there are predefined. Let me say, okay, it's not that. So I can see, just like your report tagging, you can tag your question. So as of now, we'll make it simple. So this is my first question. Okay, let me add my second question. So again, this is new hire. Question 2. Let me say it is multi-select. Select your HR. Okay. Update your recommendation for us to improve on. Okay, this is my question. Update your recommendation for us to improve on. So this is a multi-select, means I can select multiple things. That compensation discussion let's say compensation discussion should be done properly. Let me add few things. Let's say HR sorry. Then timely,
in the process.
yeah, timely updation, then transition. Okay, I can add anything. Since this is a multi-select, so I'll add one more. Let's say none. Okay, so let's say I've added 4 things. Reason why because I want to use all the components which is there in this question type. So let me see. This is the like number. Okay, NHQ3. Okay, rate your higher or experience. Okay, so I can type here that 1 being the best, 2 being the worst. So this is number. It will okay. This should not be the number. I can put in some other question that okay, number of organization you have worked on. Okay, sorry, worked in. Okay, then let me have then NH Q5, sorry, Q4. So I've used, let me say date of your offer release. I'm just giving any dummy thing. You will get this kind of question from your requirement. So don't be worried that what should I put. So I've just say, and let me use the last one which says upload attachment. Please update any document if any. Okay. Did I miss something? Date, then number, text there. Okay. 06. So what I've done, I've used all types of things. So it says, okay, for character limit, we can see that it is, I think, 5,000 letters we can put as a recommendation. So let's say, okay, so I have created a 6 kind of questions, including all the types which is there. Here I can put my question tag. If I have anything, I can create that and tag it over here. Let's say, okay, so I have create questions, but I have to add these all the question to questionnaires. Okay, so just after this, I have another task called create questionnaires. Okay, so in questionnaire we give that what is this? This is new hire survey. Okay, questionnaire type. See, depending upon this, you can say that what is the questionnaire type, whether it is interview, admission, performance goals, recruiting, requisition, supplier. Okay, so let's say this is, and I can create one more questionnaire type. If it is there, let me see that. Do I have that task? So what I'm doing, I am creating this questionnaire type for new hire survey, but I am not getting. So let me create a questionnaire type. Let me say maintain questionnaire. I'll go here and I'll add one more questionnaire which is there. So why I have taken questionnaire type? Because anything which you see, there is a difference between create and maintain. You see that this is create, and but the task is maintain. Maintain means when you want to create one time and you have to use multiple times. So those most of those tasks associated with maintain. Create means if you wanted to create anything, guys, give me a moment. Okay, give me a moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. I was just getting a call from the coordinator, so I thought I'll put you on mute. Okay, now see, I was telling that what is the difference between maintain and create? Both are doing something, some sort of creation. But maintain means you create one time and you maintain task you will get when you update something one time and use multiple times. So a kind of master list. So most of the master list in Workday starts with maintain. Since this was not there earlier, they came up with this thing new. So I clicked on maintain questionnaires. So let's say I have got these many things: questionnaire type, questionnaire name. Okay, I can maintain this. Okay, how do I add one more thing? Okay, first let me create questionnaire and then I can tag that questionnaire to here, questionnaire type. Okay, let me say tag also. Tag was missing, right? So I'll tag this as, I created a maintain questionnaire tag. Let's say this is hire survey. Okay. Now let's say questionnaire type. I have admission, payroll, performance, recruiting. How do I add this? Okay, questionnaire. We say maintain questionnaire. Is this the list which is being given by Workday? Let me see to this questionnaire type, or could be associated with some security. Let me check with that. I'm not getting anything with this. So let's focus on the task first. If I'm not getting it,
Maybe it's under the recruiting. If you can go to the
oh,
LOW
no,
process.
it has got many things. Let's just see. This is what here all. Okay, no worries. We'll focus on this part later. Let's leave it blank. It could be something with security as well. Let's not focus on that part. Now, the very important point: the questionnaires which you are creating, you want which available on which business process. As I said, this is for hire, means just after the hire. Let's say after 30 days of hiring, I want this to be triggered to an employee. So I'll say that the allowed business process should be on hire. Without giving this business process, I won't be able to get it. So I'm saying, please see, this part is very important. Allowed on business process. So I'm saying that allowed on hire process. So what will happen? I'll get this questionnaire only on hire. No other business process will have this. If you have any instructions, you can use this. Now the best part is, though I have created a question, that question is in haphazard manner. Now in questionnaire, I defined that what is, whether it is required or what is my output which I'm looking out for. I can have, let's say, if for an interview you have created some questionnaire, so you want that your system should automatically generate some record. We'll see that how to do this. So I've created a questionnaire. My questionnaire is new hire is NH01. Okay, tag was not there. I should have added my tag. I've already created a question. I should have given tag. Let me give tag to all my questions. Okay, rather than doing this way. Let's say questions. So I know that question type. So I should have given tag, because by doing tag, I can actually get all the questions here. So I'll have to see NH01. This is something which is released in R2. So just now we have got a new release. In this release, they have updated something associated with this. So most of the configurations are not the same. Recommendation. Recommendation for change. Let's see this. What suggestion do we have to improve the workplace text? No, this was not the one, right? Now I'll have to upload an attachment. Let's see. NH05. I'm getting this. NH05. So let me say. Guys, 1 minute. Okay. So I've got the things that I can get all my questionnaires here because I have given the question tag. Not question tag, but question ID I have given. Let's say new hire survey. New hire survey associated with hire business process. Let's say hire, understanding the performance. I can read this. Okay, now why I'm not getting NH, anything with NH. I have created. Okay, yeah, got it. So NH 01 or Q1. Let's see. I'm not getting. Maybe I could have added Q1. Let's see what is this. Yeah, so I've wrongly entered Q1. That is the reason I was not getting. So it says this. Okay. If I have any branching questions, I can create that with the question that if this comes, please give this question. So let's make it very simple. Is this a required questionnaire? Yes, this is a required one. Then if it is have any, like if you say that if it is score wise, let's say if you wanted to count the score, as of now, make it simple. But yes, since this is there, you guys can have a score based on this. Like, let's say if I say poor. So when I say during new hire survey, I have already hired the employee. So I don't want to assess them. But you can have this kind of scores when you are pre-screening and candidate. Let's say you have candidate, you want that candidate to go for some questionnaire. So in that case, you can put some score. If he says that I have a work experience associated with technology, so you can say 10 on 10. Let's say he says that I don't have relevant experience. You say that 0. So depending upon the scores, you can do that. As of now, let's not focus on this part. First, understand the concept, and then once we understood the concept, then we can play around with it. So I'm saying this is my question 1. Then this is NH, just add. Okay, so I've wrongly entered Q2, Q1. Again, if you want, make it mandatory, and if you want score, you can do that. So let's say Q2. Okay, Q stands for NH. Sorry, I got it. NH. Q3 is for question 3. Okay, you want required, so required. NH. Q4. NH 6. Sorry, 6 is here. Let me add NH05. Okay, so I'm adding what I'm doing, guys. In questionnaire, I'm tagging my question. So this is my questionnaire, and in business process, we use questionnaire. So I'm saying in this questionnaire have these kind of questions Q1, Q2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have added depending upon whether it is required or not. I can say required and let's say this is not required. Okay. Okay. So what I have done, all the questions which I have created for my new hire survey, I am tagging that into my questionnaire. I've also assigned that who should be giving that, which business process should trigger this. So let's say I have done with this. Okay. Preview, if you wanted to preview how your questions look, this is how new hire survey. This would be the question which you can look in: required, attach, specify, and any other recommendation. Okay, if you wanted to change the order also, you can change. Let's put this question at last. So go back here. Remember one thing: when you initiate the questionnaire, after that you don't have any right to edit something because that questionnaire is already been tagged and updated by. So whenever you want to do any modifications, you have to make sure that before launch of your questionnaire, you should do all your editing and updating. Once you launch the questionnaire, if one candidate have or one employee have updated that, then you won't be able to do any changes. So now I got to know that since there are some questionnaire is out of order, I want to edit it. So I'll edit. I can edit this because I have not updated anything. So let's say let me put the questionnaire instruction. This section is also new. Earlier it was not there. So Workday came up with this questionnaire session in 2014. After 2014, this is the first release where they have updated these many sections. Earlier questionnaire was very straightforward. Few things were there. Then most of the candidate, you can say that you started working on questionnaire in any point in time, depending upon your experience, and say that during that point was time, Workday was not up to date. So you have to so most of the employees have raised the brainstorm on the community. Depending upon the brainstorm, Workday came up with some new thing. Okay, let's say questionnaire instruction. Will this question for us to help on the onboarding process? Okay, let me do some modifications, bold, and let me put some color. Okay, so let's say I'm done with this. Okay, I can use it. There are some limited options. Okay, I've added this and I have to change the question just to make sure that attachment should roll up at the last. So yes, and the recommendation and then attachment. Okay, done. So I have reassigned my questions. So just now I've updated. So you just have to preview and look into this. How does this look? See, fill this question for us to help us on the onboarding process. And this is how it will look. Okay, like this looks good. And let me click on OK. So what we have done, we have created questions, we have created a questionnaire, and now it's time to attach this questionnaire onto the hire business process. So if I wanted to do hire business process, then let me create our hire business process, because what will happen, there are business processes which will take me long time to update. So it says there will be 10 options. So let's say, let me create a supervisory organization. Quickly, I'll do it. Create supervisory organization. I'll quickly create one. Let's give this name. Okay, I'm giving questionnaire supervisory organization name. I'm quickly creating this. I know that this you have done in your training, so I'm not going to explain or take a deep dive in this. If you have any concerns, you guys can ask me. Let's say New York. Let me use the one which has been delivered by Workday. There are so many New Yorks, which is again a confusing. So let's use this. Position management. Okay, so what I have done, I have created a supervisory organization. For this organization, I want to create a hire so that I should not move with unwanted things. So let's say I'll go to questionnaire, sorry, a business, sorry, supervisory organization. I'll copy a business process. I'll say, let me copy this hire. Okay, now done. As of now, what will happen? This business process will only have one step. Okay. Now let's add our thing. So initiation is done. Right after initiation, I'll say B create Workday account. Why create Workday account? Because I want my questionnaires to be updated by new hire employee. So if I want that, the account should be created. Without creation, employee won't be able to update that. So what I'll do right after my initiation, I'll say create Workday account. System will automatically create this. And just after this, I'll say, now what I'm doing, I'm configuring my business process. Right after my Workday account creation, I'll put a C step here. If you see the type, therein you can see there is a questionnaire thing wherein you can add your questionnaire. Click here. Complete questionnaire. So this is my task which I want. Since here I have already tagged that create questionnaire will be there. Who should be updating this questionnaire? As per my requirement, I want my employees to do so. So employee as self. Okay, so I have added employee as self. Since there are two security groups, let me see which one is the Workday delivered. This has been created. Workday delivered. Okay, so I'll uncheck this. So I'm saying employee as self will be able to complete my questionnaire. Okay, now let me say click on OK. Please see how it moves. Now questionnaire is not the thing which you, let's say, let me add this. I'll get an error. Let me see what error I get. Now my system is in error mode. Let's read the error first. So it says you have not configured a business process step. The configure button for the step that the instructions to be configure business process for questionnaire. So I have to add the questionnaire. Secondly, whenever I say my business process, my create Workday account should always follow after a completion step. So both the errors are like, I can understand my error. Okay, now let's see here. First thing first, it says Workday account is out of order. Workday account should always occur after my completion step. So completion step. So I'll say that my this step to be as completion. Like after initiation, complete my process. So I've got my completion step there. Now one error is been eliminated. Still I'll have one more error. Okay, one more error which says since I have admitted that complete questionnaire, I want to tag which questionnaire to be triggered. Never ever I have informed there are 100 questionnaires into the system, but which one to be triggered when I'm saying new hire. So I'll say configure questions, add. If you see here, there are these many questionnaires which are going to trigger for new hire, right? So I am very much clear that new hire survey. So let me use this. If I want to update this label, I can say survey. Okay. Okay. So done. Okay. Now it gives me, since I have added this, it says this is the questionnaire which you are going to use in your business process. Okay. Done. Preview. Now let me go back to my business process. BP : hire for questionnaire. Okay, this is my business process. So how my business process works now? First of all, I need to make sure whether this is in error mode or not. If it is on error mode, then your business process will not work. So now see, earlier there were two errors. Now my business process is error free. See, it's all good. Let me hire somebody into an organization. I'll see. Now, in real-time scenario, how things works, it should not directly trigger, because as soon as, let's say I'm hiring for future hires, let's say I'm hiring somebody for 1st of April. As per my business process configuration, what will happen? My questionnaire will trigger right away. Just after the completion, it will trigger. Just for testing, I am not putting any delay here. But in real-time scenario, questionnaire, what was my requirement earlier? My requirement was that I want my questionnaire to be triggered once the hire date, after the 30 days of hire. This is my requirement, and this is how for some organization it is 30 days, for some organization it is 90 days. So depending upon the requirement, we can do that. But there is a concept in business process, step delay. I can use that, but if I do it now, that step delay is for, let's say, 30 days. So I'll have to wait for 30 days to get my questionnaire. So what I'll do, just for testing purpose, whether my questionnaire is looking good or not, I'll not putting step delay, but in real time scenario, it is a step delay. Just for new hire experience, you cannot ask on the day itself, please let me know your hire experience. You give some time depending upon the organization's wish. Then after 30 days, what Workday will do? Workday will automatically trigger this questionnaire to the employee right after the 30 days of hire. We'll do that as well. But for testing purpose, let me test it. So you know that when we wanted to hire somebody into an organization, we need to have an open position. Then we should be hiring an employee. So let me create an open position. So I can go to, I can go to my supervisory organization. Under staffing, I can create position. Let me create position. Let's say this is for consultant. Let me create 5 position. I'll give my availability date. Sorry, my hire date. Okay. Then let me use any existing job profile. Let's say location. There are these many in New York. Let me use this location. Time type to be full. Worker type is equal to employee. Subtype is equal to regular. Okay, this is what we give when we create position. So my position is created. Let me see. In progress. Shit. I know that I have to look out for the business process, and my business process says that it needs some sort of approval, and my organization is not having that. So guys, you want that why I've got this as unassigned task. So shall I dig into that, or shall I move on and reassign this? You got that why I have got that reassigned task, because my business process is configured in such a way that it needs an approval. So let me show you that. I'll go to create business. It is awaiting for HR partner, and since my questionnaire is not having HR partner, it went for reassign. So let me say reassign. I'll reassign this task to David Buckley so that David Buckley can go ahead and update this. Okay, so there's a called create. Sorry, there's a task called reassign task. I'll go here. Unassigned task. Just now I've initiated, so I'll put yesterday's date so that I can get minimum number of transactions. And here there are 123 items. Let me say I'm looking out for create position. Let me say I'm not getting. Let me go back and specify the business process also. Business process is create position. Yeah, consultant. It's here. Let me assign it to David Buckley. So David Buckley will have one questionnaire item. I've chose the wrong. Let me again reassign task. Okay, Charlie Smith. Let me reassign it to Charlie Smith. Okay, reassign. 1 second, guys. Okay, so what I've done, I have reassigned to Charlie Smith. So now Charlie Smith will have inbox item, create position. Let me approve this. Okay, I'll approve. And I should have completed successfully transaction. Then only, okay, now process got completed successfully. That means now I can start hiring. So I'll go to questionnaire organization. Under staffing, I'll have 5 position. Now I am ready to hire. So I'll go to position 1 and let me hire somebody. So I'll go to here and I'll hire. As per my business process, what will happen? It will first, okay, I need to create a pre-hire. So let me go here and create a pre-hire. So guys, you guys are following with me. Let me know if you need more clarity on some task. So it's asking me for create pre-hire. So let me create pre-hire. So I'll create a pre-hire. Let's say this is for United States. Let's say Simon Jones. Since its email ID is required, let's say abc@gmail.com. Okay, so I'll create pre-hire. As soon as I created pre-hire, I can use it here. Jones. Okay, let me hire, and we'll also follow the business process. How does my business process says? Okay, it says that it should be, how does it flows? It flows with this flow. Please see this. First initiation, right after initiation, my step will get complete. So I've initiated, I am on the first step. This is my first step. So let me initiate. A reason, if I want new hire, I'll put fill vacancy. Let's say hire date. I'm hiring him for 2nd of March. Okay, let me hire him. Submit. Once I've hired, what will happen? Let's see here. My hiring got successfully completed. Right after hiring, I've got my task with new hire survey because I have not put any delay. Why I have not put any delay? Just to test whether my whether my questionnaire is working or not. Once this is worked, then we can put a delay and we can see that right after 30 days, it should trigger. Okay. Now I'll go to process. Since our account is already created, that means I am in good shape to proxy as Simon Jones. Now let me proxy as Simon Jones and see that what experience he have in terms of questionnaire. So I'll go to start proxy, security, start proxy, and now I am acting as employee self. Why this is acting as employee self? Because I said higher one is employee self. So employee self will go, click on OK. So now I'm acting as Simon Jones, who is an employee, and employee will get a similar kind of questionnaire to update it for system. So now if you see here, he'll have one inbox item. So let me go back to inbox item. It says complete questionnaire, right? So complete questionnaire is a task which Simon Jones will trigger. We have created a questionnaire. Let's say, how was your onboarding experience? Let's say, better. Update your recommendation for us to improve on. Okay. Number of organization you have worked. Let's say I'm saying I've worked for 4 organizations. Date of your offer release. Let's say offer was released on 2nd of December. Okay. See, this is single select will always come in circle. Multi select will always come on box. This is the difference. So here it will only ask me to one select because I have used this as a single select. Right after the question it says required, means I can't skip this. I've said this is also required. If I have, I can put any recommendation. If not, then I can leave it blank. Let's say, let me put some recommendation there. Okay, I have put anything. Now, since I have also said the update any document, so I can update document. I have already have test document created. So I'll upload that if that is there, say. Okay, now this is done. It's my, if up to me now, this is the questionnaire which I have created. Submit. Now my process got completed. Why? Because I have said that just after hire survey, there is no process associated. Now, though you have created questionnaire, now the best part is like you have to, how do HR partner will come to know that what he has done? Right? HR partner has to know that what he has done or what he has updated. So for doing that, we have to create a report. Correct? Because there are, let's say I'm hiring 10 people. 10 people will give their recommendation. If not, I'm not having any questionnaire, then there is no point of creating it. I need to have a report in place. Then only I'll be able to understand that if anyone has hired. Now, in business process, there are 2 ways. We can complete this in the business process also. I'm just giving you a kind of attachment, a kind of assignment wherein you can do it. Now, what has happened here? You have created a questionnaire. Now, if I'm an HR partner, I have to run a report to see what he have done. I don't want to do that. So what I can do is I can attach my report here in the business process itself. Let me give you an assignment. I can, okay, since I'm not, okay, let me stop proxy. I'm giving you an assignment wherein you can do this and try it out that. So the first thing is we have to create a report. Okay, you can create a report. Secondly, since you want entire process to be automated, what you can do is you can attach your report onto the business process. This is also a new, it is already there, but most of us were not using that. But now, since because of upgradation enhancement with the Workday, now this is very clear that we can use a business process also. So let me edit the business process. Now I want that right after my questionnaire, once the questionnaire has been submitted, I'll have to add one more thing, delay step. That means the questionnaire should trigger after the hire date of the combination. And then we'll talk about what all the challenges come when some questionnaires is triggered. Now here, just after the questionnaire, we can add one more step. Let's say step D. Here in select, I have a task wherein I can say report group, or I can add report. So what will happen, whatever report, so for that you have to create a report. If you create a report, you can get your report here, create a report group, and then what will happen right after your questionnaire, your report will trigger to this required group. This is what I'm giving you an assignment. You can come up with that, create one report for questionnaire. Right after the completion, add that step and define the group. So what will happen, as soon as your questionnaire is completed, your HR will automatically get a report. So now what will happen, I don't have to every time run a report. I have already automated a process. Means as soon as employee fills the information in the survey, HR partner for that employee will also automatically get a report, which is an automated process. I'm giving you this assignment, so you can do that. Now, let me tell you, in real-time scenario, this doesn't work in this way. In real-time scenario, you have to make sure that your questionnaire step is delayed. Now, understand, if you are delaying it, what is happening? What other tasks get delayed? Now, this is an challenges what I have faced during the questionnaire. Now, first thing, I have tested my output looks, my report survey is going well to the employee itself. Now, but the real challenge is like, I don't want that as soon as I've hired, it should trigger. It should trigger just after the hire, 30 days of hire. Just after the 30 days of hire, it should trigger. Now, how do I do that? Since we all know that there is a concept of step delay in Workday, so we'll use that. We'll go here and business process will add as maintain step delay. So I'm saying step delay. Okay, I'm adding this here. I'll say step delay on completion date, step delay on hire date, step delay on field. So I know that this is on field because of hire date. Hire date. Now you said that step delay on hire date, additional delay. What should be my delay? So I'll say that hire day plus 30 days. So then deliver this. So I have to create a calculation here. If that is there, I have to create a calculated field. Let me see, is that calculation is already there? If not, then I'll say, okay, 30 days. So what will happen? Hire date, additional delay, 30 days. Means hire date is my source field, add 30 days into that and then update. Okay, recalculate delay upon corrected. If I'll correct my business process, so this was not that, this was the new feature, then what will happen? Let's say I have considered that 31st is my hiring date, but I have changed it to 1st of April. So based on my hiring date, this will automatically adjust, which is a new feature. This was into the new release. Earlier it was not there. Now done. I've added a step delay in my thing. So what will happen now? My questionnaire will trigger after the 30 days for my hire. This is what the real-time scenario is. Now, since I have already created this hire date plus 30 days, since I have created this, now the toughest ask is to create a custom report, because I need to have a output in report. Then only I can identify that who has given what recommendation. Simply creating questionnaire was an easy task, but creating a report is a tough ask. So I can go here and I'll quickly create a report, custom report. Let's put here custom report. Let's say employee questionnaire report. I can choose this advanced, just uncheck this optimize for performance, and let's say employee all worker. Okay, now I have to first identify whether my worker data source allows that or not. So that is again a different thing. Let me just click on this plus sign and see, can I add questionnaire here? Questionnaire answer for worker. This is there. So let me see. Questions, question body, let's say answer. Okay, let me use this and let's say this is worker. And quickly, just for, since you know the process of custom report, so I'm just quickly creating to validate my output. And here I'll say that do not give me if that employee is not given any questionnaire. So I'm saying questionnaire for worker should not be blank, is not empty. And now let's try and run this report. Okay, let me look out for my worker, which is Simon. Simon Jones. I'm not getting. Okay, that means some of the field or condition is not giving the correct value. Let me see. First, let me validate Simon Jones is an employee or not. Simon Jones. Okay, Simon Jones is an employee. Okay, so he has become an employee. I can go to questionnaires. Yeah, Simon Jones is an employee. Let me see this questionnaire answer for worker. What does this say? Questionnaire answer for worker, ARI field worker questionnaire, goals and review. This is not the one. Let's see. Okay, this is not the one which will give me the output because this is why it is associating with goals and review. My was not goals and review. It is associated. This should be associated with worker. Now, if that is not there, so how do I identify that? Let's just put questionnaire. Questionnaire. Now I want to identify that where my questionnaire is belonging or where should I get this? Let's say, or just type BO. Is there any business object which deals with questionnaire? So BO will give me questionnaire. Yeah, there is a questionnaire, answer, answerable attachment, questionnaire, completable type. Let's say questionnaire. So now I am identifying how do I create report. So I can directly go ahead and change the data source. If I change the data source, I'll be getting, but this is for you, that how do you identify that, which questionnaire you have to choose. So this is all the things which is there. Let me see the related business object where I can use. I can use question item, question score. So these are the things where I can use. Let's say question item, where are these stored? Question item, questions. Okay, now let me create a report. Since I've already created this, this is not going to suffice my requirement. Let me rename this with dummy thing so that I can create a new report. Again, I'll go to custom report. Now first I'll have to identify the data source because then only I'll be able to create. So is there a data source which deals with questionnaire answer, questionnaire responses, questionnaire responses or questionnaire. Let me read this. We'll have to read the definition first. It says access the questionnaire at its primary object. The questionnaire object returns one row per questionnaire. Let's deal with this. Now employee questionnaire report. Okay. So first I need the information of my worker. So let's see, do I'm getting worker here? Okay. So I'm not getting that. Let me say respondent. Let's go to category. Date and time questionnaire. Question, but how do I get my worker name? So this deals with the current worker concept, means I can only get report for current worker. If I'm not given, I have not updated anything, so I will not get. Select worker from or selected worker from organization. Let's see what it says. Return the worker from the selected organization. Not the selected same organization. Local. Select. Return the worker from the selected organization. Let me use this. Now, since it is there, I can have all my questionnaires here. Let's say questions. Answer. or response. This is dealing with employee or not. Let me identify that. Access the questionnaire, plan the questionnaire, return one row per object. I think this is a questionnaire. Let me say, can I use any other data source? I'll have to discard this. Advanced data source. Just give me this. I think questionnaire responses suits our requirement. Questionnaire responses. Let me read this. The data source access the questionnaire responses at its primary object and return one row per questionnaire available, allowed one business process. Questionnaire created on or after. Let me see this questionnaire answer. What does this say? The data source, the questionnaire answer, primary return one row questionnaire available. Okay, both are same thing. Let me see responses. Now here I go. The first thing I'll have to identify the worker. So let's say, can I get worker over here? Worker from survey response. Okay. Let's say question. I think this should meet our requirement. Questionnaire name. And okay, let me run this and see what output I'm getting. Then I can play around with the reporting. The fundamental says that we just have to identify that which data source we should use and whether we are getting the answer or not. So we can by default this, which is new hire survey. Okay, let me just say run. Okay, I'm getting. So this is the thing which I have updated. I'm getting this. So yes, if I'm getting my answer, I can just put it here. So I can drill down this reporting. Having said that, we first have to identify that which data source we should use to get the output. Now, if you see here, this is what the response which I have updated. Thanks for asking me to give the survey, timely updation, transition. So I got my question. I got my new hire. This is my new hire like survey name. So getting all the information with this report will do. So what I have done now, just for testing purpose, I have identified that which data source is going to give me the exact report. So this data source which is closely matching my requirement. Why? Because I am getting the response name. Here I can, instead of this, because I'm not getting worker name, I need to have worker. So respondent. Let me see, can I get this respondent? Yeah. Now if I run this report, I think I'll get my names, my employee's name, which is Simon Jones. Let me just verify that. I can update this in prompt. Simon Jones, new hire. Okay, got it. So I can have my question, I can have my answers, I can have everything in place. So having said that, what was the purpose for understanding this? Because See, every time you say that you're working as a support consultant will not give you an add-on value, because at times you have to be a configuration also. So supporting means any issue come, you resolve. This was not an issue. This was not at all wasn't an issue. This was a new configuration which you got a requirement. So you can say that I've got this requirement as a new configurator. So you can, this gives an add-on value to your support consultant, that you're not only associated with resolving an issues, you have always got an opportunity to update the questionnaires as well. So the agenda for this is like, whenever, this is for everyone, whether you be as a support consultant or a configuration consultant or the techno-functional consultant, you can always add on these. Since I have not, again, if I wanted to add this report, I can play around with this report because I've identified my data source. So the purpose of walking you through the, you can say that you have also got this requirement when you have updated. Now this is a straightforward thing which you did. Okay. Now what is the challenge? Where comes the challenge? Now I'm giving a real-time scenario. This is higher because my employee is active, so I can get this questionnaire in timely manner. But what if you have to create this for a termination employee? Let's say I'm terminating and you have to give the termination. So questionnaire, it's like, as I said, it should be a delay. But now see the real-time scenario. Most of the time, what organization does, employees already terminated, and at times they initiate the termination. So during that point in time, the employee is not active, right? What I'm doing, I am terminating backdated requirement. I am terminating backdated employee. Let's say my employee is terminated on 1st of March, but because of some internal or approval came late, I am initiating terminated in Workday now. Now you remember what will happen? As per your requirement, your questionnaire will trigger. But since that employee is not active, what will happen? You have to make sure that you put a condition in your business process in such a way that if employee is active, then only trigger the termination, or else your process will go for a toss, because system will trigger to employee itself, but you are terminating backdated record. That means that employee is not there in the system. How you will send this survey? So during that point in time, you have to add one more condition. You say that this is a challenge which you came across. You can use the same experience. That the challenge what I have faced is like, the employee is already terminated. As per my configuration, it will go to employee. But since employee is not there, so what will happen? My business process will not follow an employee. It will go for unassigned. Since this is employee itself, so I don't want that HR partner could complete this. So to avoid this scenario, you can put one condition on business process by saying that just check the active status of an employee. If employee is not active, skip this process. Then what will happen? Your other process will get triggered. Or else, if any part is unassigned, then other process will also get unassigned. Means in business process, how it works? It works on the sequential flow. Let me open the business process. Let's say BP hire question. Okay. If you see, it is sequential. Sequential means what? How this will run? One after the other. Okay. A, B, C. Let's say there is one more step D, and step D is asking for some other information. Since this process got unassigned because your employee was not active. Now, what will happen? Since this process got unassigned, your other task will also get hampered, right? So to avoid such scenario, we can put one condition onto the business process by saying that trigger this task to active employee. So whether I am updating for past dated termination or for future hires, if that employee is not he is not active, my questionnaire will get triggered. My questionnaire will get delayed, or it will get skipped task. So my other subsequent task is not going to hamper. You got it? And the best part is like, since you have created this process, now it's time to leverage the report. Create a report. Deliver that report to HR partner by adding one step into the business process called report, and deliver it to HR partner. So what will happen? As soon as the questionnaire is being completed, or else you can create a notification. You can create a notification that just after the completion, best part is notification because you don't have to play around with business process. So you can create a notification on step C that once this process is completed, please update to HR partner and say that click on this report to get the output. So this is what the entire process is all about. Okay. While training or in any session, we heard the concept, but we never get the real-time scenario. So that is actually the problem for us. The problem is not like we don't understand the concept. The problem is that we don't have the real-time scenario. So if you don't have real-time scenario, most of the interviewer will say that he has not worked on it, which gives the wrong impression. So it's better any time when you are explaining something, you have to make sure that you put that thing into your real-time scenario. Okay, just to get hands-on, you guys practice with this, come up with your questionnaire, create notification and see how it works. Okay, since guys it was only for questionnaire thing, which is again an important part of the business process, tomorrow's session will be a very important one wherein I'm gonna fully focus on the security part. It's not the training, it is a real-time scenario. How do you deal with the security concept? Okay, so guys, since the count is not that huge, so I'm gonna like conclude the session for the day, and we'll not have any Q&A now. Tomorrow we'll have Q&A session along with our security one. So guys, I'm concluding the session for the day.
What time is it tomorrow?
It is 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time.
Manthan, one question regarding this process.
Yeah.
So you said that in BP steps are executed in a sequential manner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got one question, like, can we execute any steps in BP in parallel?
Yeah, we can do that. See, okay, we can do that. There is an option called, let me edit the business process first. I'll show you. You can do that. See, parallel step, what will happen? Again, we can have parallel step. Let me show you that. Okay. Let this business process should open. We can execute parallel step, but we cannot say that all the steps should go parallel. Now, let me tell you the issue of parallel step. What will happen? Okay. Now, let's say I put all the step as A. Okay. I've updated all the step as A. What will happen now means this both thing will go parallelly. Now, if I have not created the account, my questionnaire step will go for unassigned, right? Because why? Because as per my definition, it says employee should be active. I'm saying they should go to employee. If the account is not created, that means he has not become an employee. If I have delivered this task on parallelly, what will happen? One of my tasks will go for a toss, right? So, yeah, we can have parallel step, but we need to make sure that the other steps are not interrelated with it. So, in this scenario, if I'm using ABC, which is correct. Now, just after the questionnaire, if I wanted to add one more thing, then I can add my parallel step. Parallel step means just give the order as C. What will happen? Both the steps will trigger simultaneously. Okay? Both the steps will trigger simultaneously if you want to trigger some steps into a parallel one. So, if I'll add one more step, I'll add C. What will happen? According to Workday, it will trigger. Now, understand, there is one more issue with this. Now, if you see here, what is my C step will do? My C step will trigger after 30 days of hire. Now, what will happen? Please, and this is a real-time scenario. If you see hire days plus 30 days. Now, what will happen? All other subsequent tasks, if there are D, E, F tasks, will always get triggered once this task is completed. So this task is completed means after 30 days of hire. So what will happen? All my other steps will also get initiated once this is complete. So yes, in this scenario, we can all other subsequent steps, we'll add all those steps as C, or we should make sure that the questionnaire should be after 30 days. You're getting it what I'm saying? The difference between parallel step and the sequential step.
Yes, ma'am. Then, so in real time, so we do come across these scenarios?
Yeah, yes, because now I see that whatever requirement I got, I have given that. Okay, now let me add one more thing. I'll add one more thing and then I'll tell you what is the real-time issue. Let me add one more step to the business process. Okay, let me add it. Let's say I'm asking for personal information now. Now, see, because when you configure, you don't think of all these combinations. When you actually get issue, then you come and you realize that, okay, this is what the issue is about. Let's say I'm saying my step D. Okay, I am asking for personal information. Okay, change personal information. Let's say this should be for HR partner. I'm just adding one thing. Okay, HR partner. Now in real time scenario, how this issue will come across. Now you see here. Now it is step C and step D, means unless step C is completed, D will not execute. When my C will get completed, my C will get completed after 30 days of hire. So what will happen? Once this step will complete, it means if I've hired somebody on 31st of March, this step will complete it. Again, it should not complete it, it should be triggered. An employee will see after 30 days, then for after 2 months, this step will trigger, which is wrong, right? Which is wrong. What I want my personal information to be there in place, whether of any other task. So we can switch this. We'll make it this step as C and make it D. Again, if you feel like, okay, C will, again, some employees will not put interest. So make it parallel. Here I can make parallel. There is no impact because there is no dependency with each other. So I can put this step as C also. So what will happen? Both the tasks will simultaneously trigger. So HR will do its own task. Questionnaire will get triggered. So whenever you add delay into step, your other subsequent steps get hampered. So you have to make sure that when you put delay, you need to make sure that the other step, when you are asking for somebody to update, it should not get hampered. If it is hampering, make sure that you put this questionnaire at last or put your condition so that your business process should not go for a toss. Now you got the thing?
Yes, Manthan. Yeah.
Yeah. And the best part is like create questionnaire. As I said, I've given you an assignment. You can use action type report, attach your report. So what will happen now? Once your questionnaire is completed, right after the completion step D, if I'll put report, your report will trigger to HR. Now he'll get a notification, he'll get a report, or else the simplest way is to add notification. If you add notification, HR partner will get to know that this questionnaire has been completed. He or she will go and get the report. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, guys, since we have exceeded our time as well, so we'll conclude the session for the day now. Tomorrow when we'll jump, we'll focus on the security concept. As I said, security or business process, both the concepts are very important. And since what I've understood from the entire team is like, you know the concept, you know the fundamentals, but the simple thing is like you are unable to use that experience into your, use that your training into an experience. So I'm here to give you an experience exposure. Okay. So tomorrow when we'll jump, we'll focus on the security. Though security looks easy, but it is the toughest of all. Okay. So guys, I'm concluding the session for the day, and we will jump on tomorrow 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and then we'll focus with our security concept. Okay. Bye and take care and have a great weekend.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.